Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Gaming and tech is honestly huge this week by comparison normally. Only because, though, Gamescom is happening. I literally just watched it before I came to film, so there you go. We still have, I just watched opening night, I guess. We still have like 4 days worth of Gamescom, so there is still potential for things to come out of Gamescom. So if this is out of date by the time you watch it, I apologize, but I only saw the opening ceremonies so far, so let's get into follow-ups real quick. Multiverses Season 1 has officially launched. You can go check it out. There's a bunch of playthroughs and stuff for all of the characters that are available in the developers pack for the game, and I believe the new character is Rick? Yeah. Rick from Rick and Morty, which just the scope of characters in this game is never going to cease to make me chuckle. Yeah, so that's what we got there. Let's move into trailers. There, like I said, Gamescom, the opening ceremonies, the opening day, whatever, opening night live, just happened, so there is literally a boatload of brand new gaming trailers. I have some of the more noteworthy ones linked down below, but also the Gamescom stream, the VOD for the stream is also linked down there because it's like an hour and a half long and totally worth a watch, just so you can see all of the trailers yourself and form your own opinion for which ones are noteworthy. But the big ones that I wanted to point out, Dead Island 2 actually has, stuff out on it now, and not just rumors and not just developers saying, hey, we're gonna do a thing. We have actual evidence that it exists, and there's a trailer, and that's worth a watch. Go watch that one. We have Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game. This comes from the same developer that brought us the Friday the 13th, the game. And so it's multiplayer in a very similar way as the Friday the 13th stuff. So one team, it looks like, one team are the clowns, one team are the teenagers, and therein craziness ensues. Go check out that trailer, again, link in the description. And then, oh my gosh, I almost leapt with joy when I saw this. Dune Awakening is a new game coming out very soon. Check the trailer for that one too. Does the death mantra, and it's so epic in and of itself. It does officially reside in the proper Dune universe, and it does take cues from Denis Villeneuve's Dune, though it is not a retelling of, it looks like, anything from the first book, because Paul is much too old to be from the first book in this trailer. So somewhere second book, maybe third, though I can never remember which book it was that he dies, spoiler alert, that he dies in. It was either the second book or the third book, but eventually Paul dies because it's a space epic. So there's 7 books. You can't have all of the same characters in 7 books. So whatever, I don't care. But there is one trailer that did not happen at Gamescom, but happened shortly before. It's technically not really a trailer, it's a gameplay feature. We got Wolverine gameplay for Marvel's Midnight Suns. It looks epic. I'm not usually a turn-based, this might not even be turn-based, it seems to be turn-based, RPG player, but Wolverine's always a win, man, so go check that out, linked in the description as well. And then let's move into some regular-ass news. We got some sort of Lord of the Rings thing happening. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. Embracer Group is kind of at the center of a bunch of different things. They have been purchasing gaming developers left and right, it would seem. They purchased Middle-earth Enterprises, or they got in on a purchase. I don't know. Depending on which outlet you read, kind of words it differently, so it kind of muddies the water. But either way, Embracer Group, who owns a couple of smaller developers at this point now, also owns the rights, the gaming rights at least, to the Lord of the Rings universe. So the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, all of that stuff, they have the rights to make games. So they signed a contract with Weta Workshop. The contract where they signed is kind of laying it out so that we could very well see whatever Lord of the Rings game they might be working on, because they got the rights pretty immediately after signing the contract. So presumably they are working on a Lord of the Rings game, and we could very likely see this as early as 2024, which seems really, really short development, unless they were working on it before the deal finished. I don't know. There's some shadiness going on with Embracer Group right now. I'll try and link down in the description to a video that kind of goes into greater detail of that, but right now, that's all you really need to know, so let's move right along, shall we? Also, a wonderful thing that happened at Gamescom, and this deserved to be in its own little section for the news, is Hideo Kojima has announced that he is going to be doing a podcast on Spotify. Starting September 8th will be the first episode. It is going to be dual release. By that I mean there will be one, for every episode that releases, there will be one file or one version of it that is in Japanese, and then there will be another version of it that is in English. So pretty much anyone can listen and you'll know what's going on. That's freaking epic, because Hideo Kojima is a legend in the business and is kind of an epic personality unto himself. So yes, please, and thank you. That does, though, bring us to the end of the regular ass news in gaming and tech. So let's talk gaming and tech suggestions. Our suggestion this week is honestly for a game that I have not played personally, so I'm going to put that out there. But Stray is a PlayStation-only game, and man, I wish I had a PlayStation. I mean, obviously, there's a number of other games that make me wish I had a PlayStation, not the least of which the Metal Gear games and such, and Street Fighter and whatever. But Stray is the newest addition to that list of games that I really wish that I had a PlayStation in order to play, because watching walkthroughs is fun, or Let's Plays rather, is fun, and I really enjoy the aesthetic and stuff, but I want to be the one that controls the cat. Man, this looks like a blast. I mean, it's not exactly like high octane, there's not a whole lot of that kind of action in there, but just great storytelling and great like visuals, and just video game as art is on full display here, and I love it and I think it's great. So that's our suggestion for the week. If you can get your hands on it, go play Stray. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.